Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Mouth of the Tyne Transfer Central. Today is the final countdown. We're heading into the final 7 days of the window as of tomorrow. 1 week to go, and we've still only made 3 signings. So what I want to do is just do a quick recap of where we are, who's on the agenda, who could come in, who we'd want to come in, and let's see if we can get someone over the line in the last few days. So let's do this. Mouth of the Tyne Transfer Central. Yeah, so just had some info sent over regarding Joao Pedro. That being that, according to my sources' info, which is usually impeccable, Joao Pedro is due on Tyneside tomorrow. That'll be Wednesday, and should be partaking in his medical on Thursday. Now, obviously, we know things are subject to change. We've all followed football for a long time, but that's the info that I'm getting, that Joao Pedro is due on Tyneside tomorrow. Everything has been agreed between Watford and Newcastle. It's 25 million plus 5 million add-ons. There is no issues with that. There might be a slight issue with the structure of how much is paid and when, but I believe that's almost sorted out. But as the info stands, the info that I'm getting is that Joao Pedro's due on Tyneside tomorrow. That's Wednesday, and should be partaking in a medical on Thursday. So you would think that being said, announcement maybe on Friday or later on Thursday. So I believe this one is a done deal. We shall see if I'm right. Hope I am. Or my head will be for the chopping block. But yeah, so let's hope that that is the case. And let's keep an eye on that one in the next 24 hours. But that's the info. Joao Pedro up in Newcastle tomorrow. Medical on Thursday. So yeah, let's see how that one pans out. Now, some interesting news coming out of the Eddie Howe presser this morning is that Callum Wilson has gone for a scan on his injured hamstring. It could be a mild strain, it could be something more severe. At this stage, we just do not know. But it's not uncommon for this to happen with Wilson. It seems to be an injury that reoccurs many times, no matter how much fitness work he does and puts in. The guy seems to have weak hamstrings. So he's scored, a couple of goals already this season in 3 starts. If he's not available for the foreseeable future, there's a week left of the window. We've got to bring somebody in. We cannot go into the season with Chris Wood as backup. Even people are saying, even with Joao Pedro coming in, yes, the guy's like supremely talented. He looks like a great dribbler. He's going to be a great player. But he's only scored 4 Premier League goals so far. So we can't rely on him to instantly come in and cover for Wilson for 3-4 months, if that's, what it proves to be, worst case scenario. So we need to bring a striker in. We've been linked with various other target men, such as Belotti, Kaladzic, who's being chased by Wolves at the minute. We need somebody. Obviously, we've got the Ramos bid that was supposedly in last week, and Benfica were waiting for the Champions League qualifier, which is tonight, I believe. So we may know more after that, if they are going to sell him once they qualify. So it's all up in the air, but we cannot go into the season with just Wilson, with just Wood as Wilson's backup. It's just not feasible to go half a season with that type of quality being next down the list if Wilson is injured. So we need to do something there. We need to improve it fast. We've got 7 days to do it, and I would like to think that they do act on it, because it could really derail the season. If you lose Wilson, you're losing that deadly clinical finisher up front, and that's something that can impact, massively. We probably will have the creativity this season, but have we got the people to finish it off up front? With Wilson, yes. With Wood, you'd probably say no. So that needs to be addressed. It's no use just shrugging our shoulders and saying, oh, well, Wilson was, meant to be fit. There's still time to make changes in this window, to bring people in. I would like to think that the club would do that. So let's keep an eye on the striker situation. Even after we've signed Pedro, I would like to still think that there could be some kind of mobile striker coming in there, but in somebody that could link up play and score goals. Ramos would probably be perfect for that. Some kind of like hybrid number 10, number 9, but yeah, let's just keep an eye on it, and we'll see how that one develops over the next few days. Now, we're still pushing, as far as I'm aware, for a Shelvey replacement. Probably not going to be Conor Gallagher now that he's starting for Chelsea at the weekend. That one, to me, would look a bit too far-fetched. It's somebody that's going to be covering for Kante. Would he move to get more game time up here? possibly, depending on the severity of Kante's injury. If it's just a few weeks, he might still think, yeah, I've got better options elsewhere. But yeah, that's something that's probably going to go down the final few days. We have been linked with various defensive midfielders this week. To me, that would suggest that they want Bruno to be, you know, freed up to play further up the pitch. But again, at the weekend against Man City, Bruno was good in that role, sitting, breaking up play, you know, and then passing it on after that. He did it very well. He was pressing. He was a bit of a different kind of defensive midfielder than what you might be, you know, used to in the Premier League. He was actually kind of pressing with the rest of the midfield rather than sitting deep and just, you know, solely waiting for the ball to come to him to stick a foot in. He was actively chasing down and harrying and hassling and hurrying. So if that's the type of defensive midfield display that he's going to do, then you know, that's something that we could possibly just keep him as it is, and maybe bring in another attacking midfielder instead. And obviously that would lead us on to Paqueta and Maddison, those type of deals. So the info that I got yesterday, I put it out as an exclusive. Basically, how it's standing is that the £50 million bid, what we bid for Maddison a few weeks ago, is still there. Leicester didn't reject it out of hand, and we never, you know, retracted it off the table. It's still there. I believe he's still the #1 target for the attacking midfield position. It'll be 50 million cash up front. That's the info I'm getting. So that obviously Leicester would have no issues with taking that, especially if they're looking to sell to buy. If they choose to accept it, obviously he's one of their best players. But the backup plan, and you know, some people are saying it is a backup plan. You know, can you call Paqueta a backup? Well, you can, in the essence that he's going to be a second choice if this Maddison bid fails. Apparently, that's all systems go. A player wants to come. Leon would be willing to accept the money. You know, it's roughly between 40 and 43 million, something like that should be enough to get him. And obviously, he'd jump at the chance to come and work with Bruno and Joe Linton at Newcastle. So that is something that I would like to see happen. But at the same time, Maddison is a very, very good Premier League player, and he's Premier League proven, already had, you know, numerous appearances in the Premier League with goals and assists. He's somebody that really wouldn't need any time to adapt at all. So we can let's just see how things go, because as I've said, the tweet that I put out yesterday was the bid's on the table up until this weekend, end of the week, I got told. So that's assuming Friday. If there's no response from Leicester by Friday, it will be retracted, and then the remaining 2, 3, 4 days of the window of the weekend will be put all our effort into getting Paqueta in as a last-minute marquee signing. Now, that's my info. If I'm wrong, hold my hands up, but at the minute, the info I'm getting from sources close to the club is that it's going to be one of Maddison and Paqueta as the attacking marquee signings, just to really give us that extra quality. You know, we've had Fraser's got many injury problems already this season. Wilson's already kind of suffering a few injuries. We know Allen can be a bit injury prone at times and miss, you know, a few games off the trot if he's not feeling it. So we really need to cover those forward positions with a bit more quality, and obviously Maddison and Paqueta would bring that in abundance. I'd personally take either, but obviously with Maddison you're getting a ready-made Premier League player. So like I said, £50 million bid on the table. Keep an eye on that one. Leicester are apparently wanting to sell, so let's just hope that they do accept it. They need to sell to buy. They haven't really bought any players in this summer so far, so in the last week of the window, if they're going to sell somebody, it would probably be him. It looks like they're adamant on keeping Fofana. So let's see how that one goes. But yeah, as the info stands, it's going to be Maddison or Paqueta in the final week of the window. Yeah, so just to kind of finish off on this Transfer Central special, the final countdown. Obviously, the club would be looking to utilise the loan system, maybe bring in a couple of players if they can on loan. Chelsea boys looking like the most likely to happen. Obviously, we've already touched on Conor Gallagher, but Hudson-Odoi again is still a very viable option at this stage. He will be leaving Chelsea 100% on loan somewhere, and we've also got links to Pulisic too. Now, again, that one could still happen. It could be on loan. Who knows at the minute? The info's, you know, a bit sketchy on that one. Would Chelsea be willing to sell? But them two, I would definitely keep an eye on, and I'd also keep an eye on Brozier, because if Aubameyang comes back into the Premier League from Barca to Chelsea, Brozier's not going to get a look in. So that is something that Chelsea would obviously need to address. They want him to develop. So that could be somewhere, you know, something that where they're looking to send him on loan to either ourselves or Everton or somewhere like that, just so he's going to get regular game time. I still would not rule that one out. He could possibly still be the backup striker that we're looking for to cover for Wilson, you know, if the Ramos deal doesn't come off. So keep an eye on the loans in the last week of the window. Like I say, we've got one more week left after today. Next week's going to be absolutely crazy. There will be both incomings and outgoings from Newcastle. And like I say, I hope the exclusives that I've brought you in the last 24 hours, one being the Maddison bid still being on the table, the club's still looking to push for that, and also the Joao Pedro deal, the exclusive that I'm bringing you. Hopefully it's right. I do hope the source is correct on this one, is that he's due up tomorrow, which is Wednesday, and should be having a medical on Thursday. Things are agreed. It might not be official yet, but yeah, it's looking like that Watford have accepted the 25 plus 5, and it's just the structure that's been sorted out now. So all systems go. It looks like he's going to be arriving on Tyneside tomorrow. So yeah, a couple of exclusives there. If I'm wrong, please don't be too hard on me. It has been known before, but at the same time, I only pass on what I hear, and a lot of the time it has been right. You know, we've got the team selections that's been correct. We've given you a lot of contract information, extensions that have been correct over the past few years as well. So yeah, so let's just keep an eye on how things go, and we'll see how this final countdown of the last 7 days of the window pans out. So stay tuned. We're going to try and bring you some more content over the next few days. Things are very fluid in this situation, you know, of transfers, so there could be things happening right now as I'm recording this video. So we'll just keep, like I say, keep liking, subscribing, and watching these updates. And yeah, I'll try and bring you some more Transfer Central news very soon, guys. So yeah, all the best. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you again very soon. Cheers.